Zit zone.
Oh, for sure. And the side for Prosperity, it's not too shabby either, right? We doubted it yesterday. They debuted it for the first time as a core 5 after they made that swap, that roster change from Nora to ISO. And they beat SAD, you know, a 13-10. So it was a novelty factor, maybe. Who knows? Maybe Shopify Rebellion Gold will take that VOD and carry it forward. But Shopify Rebellion Gold embodies this map. It's tied to all their victories in VCL, the only map they won in their first Swiss Stage 1. And now it's what they need to stay alive here, jumping into the pistol round. Magic, that is going to be at the crux of PRS, already getting up close and personal.
Yeah, Dan was talking a lot about the Neon and what it can get accomplished, especially because Magic has been phenomenal for PRS. But see what happens here, though. Mel already getting the first, and Magic now they're ready and set up to find potentially another. Gets caught in the fault line, and the Flash will have to evacuate the site, but not enough time. Will get their one. And the Salvos to take out the second advantage towards the back. There's 4-2 left here. Manny and ISO can't get much time.
And SRG and Pistols this series name a better combination unless Manny can clutch a 1v4 here. Did get through the flank, but I mean, power friendship, 3-player staring you down, firing squad style. And SRG get off on the right foot once again for the map. I mean, if you think about it, it's like every map they're able to at least get the ball rolling. And I think on Lotus, what did it fell apart a little bit because of a second round thrifty. Like, as long as let's keep it clean, and then we'll go from there, Ravish.
Exactly, that's what we're hoping for. And to be fair, if we look at some quick stats as well too, all right, SRG have a 77% win rate on this map, just this year alone as well. The attack side, as Lisa mentioned, right? Actually attack sided, and they win 66% of their attacking rounds too. So this half needs to be a statement half from SRG if they are to maintain the composure and stay in this game. Because if not, we've seen Prosperity have phenomenal comebacks once side switch.
Well, careful, making sure there's nothing too brash out of Prosperity here. One thing I did really like from this team was they were good at pushing deep, positing players, and rotating off that information. So, I was expecting maybe to see, for example, Magic push down C, that trap wire, but some utility, a smoke and window thrown. You're cautious, you're careful, trying to clear out players, and now clearing out Noya. Oh, you second-guessed yourself.
Noya with a shallow clear. Unfortunate, but one more falling. We'll see if they can possibly get another here to clear out the rest. Your Vantic stuck at the corner. Ice will set up, and the paranoia landing. L puts out one of her own. Oh, has to tuck in, re-clear those Sarah there for the trade. And Sarah herself takes 3. Dude, she's been popping off these past 2 halves.
Yeah, the current Sarah Tejo alive and well for this last match probably in history, right? Before things swap over in Game Changers and in VCL to the new Tejo. But if the Bulldog can bite, it bites hard. And nice to keep all the weapons in hand as well. The only casualty was Noya with that Sheriff. So now, I mean, Eco Weapons, curious to see what the Eco Strat looks like. But again, they've been so thorough in closing out this space, clearing out these angles. Last one you expect up in your face is the Tejo too, when Shopify Rebellion has been playing like protect them, let them play down that utility in the post. So this is interesting. I wouldn't expect to see long on a weapon around your down weapons.
I mean, why not? Right. Simple, easy to possibly secure. And we'll see what can happen as Maddie get the trade. Ooh, the swinger on his ball. Easy to clean up with 3. Jesus Christ, Maddie. So no one's able to clear him out. Sarah left. And all right, a couple of taps. The Bulldog, but we'll leave her alone with one more left. Not aware of the final person is, and almost a 4K to save that round, but not able to clutch it.
Yeah, difficult when you take the fight to Cypher's domain. Manny opens up the round. Magic's there to shut it out. And again, very similar actually to previous maps. That third round, it's so close for Shopify every time they've even gotten one, but falls short. And Sarah, I mean, the fact that, again, it's her back-to-back, having that level of performance here with the Bulldog, shows that, you know, maybe it's going to be a team effort to pull them over the finish line, at least for this map, get them to Sunset. But look, this is an aggressive play set up. Salvo stun, you dash in. Magic looking for that first kill, but yeah, Shopify Rebellion says we're not gonna let you. We decline, thank you.
Going around of their own. the most classic sort of switch that we've seen so far, or else usually it's been kind of snowballs like 5-0s, 4-0s for one of these sides. So a 2-1 feels almost unfamiliar to see. Alesta, the flash he used, this TP, a fake one at that fact. And all the info just taken Manny, centered inside the cage, waiting to see if anybody will look to challenge him. But as of right now, it doesn't seem to be the case. His Magic has also made his way over onto A, the pixel angle. This could be nice.
I love these angles, no matter the map. Now the disengage, waiting again for support. Maybe the utility come back online. This is the second time they faked the A pivot, faked the A aggression. You draw the trio back, and I mean, the issue here is that you have 40 seconds left, and Mel didn't do much to destroy the utility on C. The trap wire, the cam are still active, and you're running into a Judge.
So flash works out, so they do it enough. Use Armageddon to crash with the back of the site. It's Manny who's got to skedaddle to get out of there. Fault line as well to save him, but there, Mel not able to find the transfer, unfortunately. And it might just cost him everything. As Magic been able to make his way over. Thor there to watch the angle. Peek out. Good swing for Magic. Was it out through 3v3, and there's the overdrive. If SRG wants to survive, they gotta shut this down, but the flash is clean. Mel survives, but for how much longer? A couple of seconds. Lexa saves her duo. Yuki, last one left standing. A 2v1. Not improbable, but gotta clear out one as Dodo. 3 for the round as Shopify continue on the gun.
Oh, and that round was just a culmination of Looney Tunes moments, right? Like, I'm just seeing Mel spinning, trying to ensure that she doesn't get traded out. Prosperity, as they take a timeout, we can break down the round further. I mean, it shows the awareness is there, right? Magic in particular finding the lurking Noya. And my concern there is that it felt like Shopify did get caught off guard by the trio that pushed all the way through A main and guarded and got behind them. And it felt like the response to fighting to CT came a little late, and it didn't go too far either. They were just lucky that Mel was able to secure those kills up close and personal. So all in all, I'm glad we get to take a look hopefully back at that round at the end of these first few. Because, again, the team fights, I think, is where we're seeing SRG thrive, and they look like they're back in sync. And this is the best map to do so.
Exactly. And in fact, might be the only map to do so.
No, for Shopify, maybe, yeah.
yeah, exactly, for Shopify. But for Prosperity, you know, we're thinking, hey, this is like, maybe just be another day on the farm because, look, they've been to these deficits before. They've come back from like 7 to 10 round deficits previously. As Maze be one of the start of them. And off these early timeouts, momentum shift once again, where they take it. See what actually changes for them too. As time that's early, you know,
fighting that mid.
Yeah, they're gonna just run out of B. You got classics, so they can't get a ton done, but
is Alexis gonna stun the line as well? Usually Shopify Rebellion, they play back, they understand, they wait these plays out. It looks like they're trying to get ahead of it.
I mean, they may. They're considering. Let's see if she's taking my Mel to possibly peek at New York's where aggression comes in. A triple setup on a window. Trying to see Magic, okay, but unfortunately does not manage to find him. So the move out and look towards C instead.
What a shot. That's Alexis taken out of the fight for the substantial future. 5 HP, player util from off site from a safe distance. This is interesting as well. They made the switch up out of the timeout. Pretty standard, I feel like, to swap where the Cypher is. Heavy towards A, your stacks BC for the eco. That does mean Vantic is in the hot seat, the solo anchor here. Provide just enough time for the Neon in the breach, and they do so for the time being, but it's all much util.
Yeah, speaking of which though, Paranoia goes a bit wide, but it's enough for the clone to distract. And Sarah Dodo to get the first initial to be contacted as rests on a fallen one by one.
Spike planted.
SRG, take an easy round, build up some more of the ultimates. Not a bad trade.
Yeah, and at this point, I feel like maybe FE's during the map break was like, hey guys, we can't give away any of these eco rounds anymore. Those were, I think, wearing at us on these two maps. And, well, you know, you can spare one, like Dodernut, who probably wanted to kill, get the ult. Manny, little upgrade, little save. But it does give the information, obviously, over to Shopify that, okay, one of the pivots out of timeout, Cypher on A. Which Manny on A, kind of lethal yesterday. From Heaven, from CT, it doesn't matter where you put him. He has a site smoke to play off if he's good to go. So I'm curious if they'll keep this or if this was just an eco strat. But all in all, Shopify Rebellion Gold, keep it clean. Again, I might need to see Prosperity make a change towards the C site directive more than anything following that timeout. Now that you have weapons, maybe send your Neon down long. That's something I like to see. I've seen it from the Cyphers. I've seen it from Neons. You push down, you deposit deep, whether it's a deep cam or a deep player. So you have that information, you have that certainty to keep a strong-sided.
Considering that actually, ooh,
That shot again.
Yeah, that should have hit. That's crazy.
One enemy remaining.
But unless as we land ourselves here, right, we'll see what they can get done
Ooh,
there
op.
for their side. I was gonna say, yeah, that's a match being set up likely with the A op, right? So hope it's what we can find.
Noya?
Yeah, he's got to get out. Meanwhile, Dimensional Drift used to find the positioning on the A of the A players on site. But we'll be being opened up one by one. They've got to get away because the aftershock, despite being delayed for a couple of seconds, but they want to retry. Oh! Magic caught on an open angle. A smoke now is well repositioned to allow to get the plants out, but now they got to survive. How to do so is the question. They'll have to play off site, and there we go.
Yeah, in, out, in, out. You know, you're with the gate crash, Oma with a shrouded step, but please don't let it be a new to defuse. I know you have post-playing utility, but we got to have another win factor. They didn't fight Garage. Manny's the one fighting Garage.
Yeah, and Manny get ones as well. They got to fight this. The second peak is so nasty. In fact, he mentioned this, so now they know they're getting flanked and cornered, and what seemed like a surety, it's because of a single M, the big M, the take 4, quick peaks, and Prosperity are back in it. Oh my God.
And again, it feels like Manny is the difficulty level shifted from easy to hard, right? Whether it was Icebox, you know, the rewraps from mid on the Viper, or here on the Cypher pushing out Garage. And when we go back to, again, maybe some of the attack difficulties from Shopify on Icebox, they also didn't have those, you know, dependencies, those insurance policies in effect there. I mean, I feel like if you're having 4 players outside of Grass, you know, have a player wrap A, have a player wrap Garage. We said we were looking forward to the Noya lurks, and we're not getting the Noya lurks.
Shadows traveling. I mean, probably because Manny keeps running the down because high, man. Now he's set position over towards 8. All that side for useful there. Stopped him early on. He has the op this time. Gold shot's not going to connect it. And he keeps trying to pelt them towards A main, but not much necessarily garnered. And besides a little bit of info on him, and if anything, and a full clip shots. We'll see who decides to drop down and see if he can get anything else past that. The spike's still not committed here on A just yet.
What is Prosperity thinking? There's no way you're saving it a 5v5. I mean, Spike obviously hasn't been planted yet with just a minute left, so they're waiting for that content to go through, but surprised they don't start re-clearing anything. They just let it happen. Davos. And punish from Noy with a Sheriff Long? Okay.
Dude, Manny has popped up on the angle, I think 10 times. Bondi gets punished for it. So now, with the op now being a non-factor, we're able to have Taylor to move up and cover the heaven angle. And now the rest of them looking all flood in. Paranoia comes in right on time. A shot against the wall to do some redecorating onto heaven A site. So keeping the rest of SRG alive. And they'll take the op and they'll get out of there. Just ISO to distract them. But they know they can't let them get away with it. Yuki spotted. They're not gonna let them get the ult, but Dorona will fall past it. So just at least be able to take him. And SRG are back in it.
Okay. We're starting to see the trade-off there with Noya fighting with the players on site instead of being that lure factor. You know, it's a more decisive way to have a return investment than more of a gamble with a higher multiplier. But 3 kills found. She's following up, you know, Donut very well. And Donut as well looks very, very confident, very comfortable in the Yoru role compared to the Reyna that we saw over on Icebox. That's also a nice it factor. And this is kind of the moment on every map where we've had it that no matter who was leading, that it kind of got close, right? Someone had a breakthrough, whether it was a rope thrifty, like what Prosperity's lined up for. I'll have to wait and see, especially when, look, Neon high geared it all the way into Grass, but the spy cam spots it out. So SRG hit the throttle, hit the gas, head A.
I mean, we're into the gas right now. Again, like you said, hit A. What's the clone to get hit instead? Try to spot it. Man, he finds a spray. And again, it's these anti-ecos, man. For Prosperity, the Shopify just can't seem to get around. Every single time they seem to have their number for it. So Lexus in a 1v4. She only do so much. The spike is dropped. And it's so insane. They somehow keep on finding these rounds no matter what, no matter the map. Prosperity, man. Wow.
Oh, and I feel like I cast or cursed it into existence. I'm like, huh, this feels familiar. I'm getting essential deja vu. And the speed in which they deploy the mid fight and then rebound and get back to A to set up those number-heavy duels is impressive. And while we saw Sarah and Alexis try to wrestle back, it was already a losing battle. It just ultimately isn't enough. And I'm surprised, honestly, that we don't see SRG take a page out of Prosperity's book and take a timeout right then and there. Because this is when I mentioned things fall apart and you get a close half. When SRG could have had, 8-9. Now, who knows?
Yeah, it's entirely possible too. And remember, we were saying this needs to be a statement half for SRG on their attack, right? So this is it's actually not too bad for Prosperity because remember, attacking halves for them, they build quite well. They play heavily aggressive. The gunfights have been constantly in their favor. So from here, Dota should be dead. Yep, no TP set up. Unfortunate. So Duelist's not already gone. We'll look to see what we can get done on the side of SRG as they're all pretty spread out.
Well, when you've lost a player, you've lost your entry. Did you get ratty? Noya finally on her lurk arc back. Sheriff, though, only in hand, it'd be difficult. Things look like they might just get even harder. Izo toying with the idea of the Rolling Thunder here to shut down this A exec as well. And they do decide to, as Yuki gets pressured over towards short, but Mel slipped in. It's not enough, though.
I mean, but yeah, like you're saying, Mel with a possible cheeky angle to get something back, but it's just with nothing necessarily gained. They'll leave Noya to watch the lurks and possibly just get a gun and save. But Alexis jumping through, not even able to get the plant down. Just Noya left.
Wow.
Yep, bye-bye. Manny, once again.
And he feels like he's been like that perfect, like, alternative universe mirror to Noya this series. I mean, again, very similar flexibility between controller and between Sentinel. And finding those impactful kills, keeping track of what she's trying to do to make space for her team, right? She got all the way into A lane and doesn't even know that Manny's there. So one round delayed, but the timeout comes still nonetheless as the economy cycle gets the reset for SRG after those 2 rounds get tied together by Prosperity. Magic, operator back out as well, coming into the next, but shove everybody in goal. We're going to see a little silly eco, and then things get serious here, Ravish.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Effie's is looking to tell the team, because, like, I mean, it's these NNT ecos that have been killing them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
For this past 3 maps, I think you pointed out before as well, Zobi, right? It was these pivotal rounds that they found so consistently. And now with this Prosperity managed to do this to stay in the game. And for SRG, this is their last timeout as well. So he feels like he needed to take both of them in one half. Maybe not the most positive sign, but a needed one possibly.
Oh, and fact checking if SRG did use both timeouts, but I mean, this is where things flip, right? Whether it's the 7-5 you got on split or the 5-7 map 2. And all in all, this is nice. Going back to maybe what was working for the team, utilizing the kit to disrespect Prosperity members, but speaking of disrespect, Magic staring into the mist, looking for a kill, and he'll answer back.
That's easy first start for Magic. Up in his hands this time, and so knowing that the eco's there, like, they won't be able to do much more, but considering what we've seen so far, an eco of SRG's own could be monumental.
Pretty good.
Yeah, to get back into the game, but like you're saying, they've got to necessarily hold out, right? But what else can they do? There's no ultimates to be had.
Yeah, Vanda's gonna TP pass. No one's deep enough. Maybe this 5 cam will get tapped, but all in all, they've got to get aggressive. They got to get up their face, and they are.
Yeah. Oh! I mean, get in the face, stay shallow. This double stinger play against 3. Now Yuki's gonna drop down, ready a little bit off the crosshair. This Vantic left alone. Sarah picks up the yaw, but now it's a 2v1. Knows where Vantic is, whips the shot. Mel's gotta survive this, but unfortunately she's one dome. And they'll use the Armageddon. The pop to push them closer. Time not on their side.
No.
The op shots. And they get it.
Just under a second and a half. The Armageddon comes in clutch. Sarah comes in clutch for SRG. That Armageddon was a surefire thrifty after the crunch out of defender's spawn. Would have been insanity. I mean, they even had a trap wire deep for Noya. Like, that was such a perfectly constructed eco. Hats off to Effie's and Mel. And now the question is, can you hold on? Can you get that 7-5 half as we head into the second to last round?
Yeah, even 8-4 if you're SR, right? You need all the Ruby you can get at this point.
Backside Haven.
Exactly. Right.
Can't use that.
Let's see. The drone suppresses Noya early. So I have to leave her, but look at Magic's positioning. He's just taking all the space in A long, hoping to see if anybody looks to re-peek it, but walking even
Alexis,
closer.
no.
Oh, no. This could be horrible, but they stay
They're gonna drone it?
stationary. No, maybe not.
They are.
They are, right? They're so smart. They're so smart.
Soft shot finds nothing, and they're trying to punish it, in fact. Every piece of utility having to get invested here just to defuse the situation. But this is what I asked for, right? When you have one deep A, you get one deep C. Now they know that they're headed C, and the entire team can prepare for it on Prosperity's side.
Yeah, here they are already. Right, all taken away. That's your smoke's already gone. That's the fake also taken. I wish that was a Drika, but nonetheless, now Maddie's watching and waiting for the rest of the team to enter in. And if you are SRG and you're thinking 100%, I've got to go somewhere else, but you go walk right into you can't clear up the rest of the site. You got no blinds, no smoke, no nothing. You walk in high and dry, and they simply just die.
Before the switch.
Wow. I mean, 30 seconds left, right? Mel dies long. You know the Cypher utility is going to be active on C. It was a difficult decision to make, and they should have gotten B, but not clearing a quarter becomes lethal. Yuki becomes lethal, and that is the 5th round in Armageddon. The boot, all of that. I mean, if they again slow things down a little bit, I mean, 30 seconds left, you can't slow it down too much. Noya was in a good spot, got the kill. It's a hard call to make, but it places SRG in an uncomfortable position for the last round of the half, where they kiss the 8-4 goodbye, and maybe even staring at a 6-6 over a 7-5. And they got stingers again.
Yeah, they also had a broken by here as well too, so they've got to look to contend against that too. I mean, the previous eco went beautifully, but that's because they had A side on lockdown. This time though, they're gonna be so lucky. C has not been where they flourished, unfortunately, and so especially considering the double hold right now from Prosperity, especially with this up, maybe just good enough. The smoke drops down right on time, and Magic and Manny, the double M combo, waiting for the rest of the team to come in. They're repositioned to B, as spikes should be planted and as like a hold off site.
I mean, it's smart. You have Armageddon, you flush these players out.
Yeah.
We'll see if it gets utilized, invested on the eco. I mean, this is surprisingly slow. They're waiting, I think, for that aggressive play, kind of like how we saw on A through defender spawn. Or maybe waiting for them to push link, but it doesn't come, so Armageddon procced. Trying to set up the reflow, but they've avoided it.
Oh. Waiting for how long the concussed, unfortunately, belongs to the overdrive. It becomes a little bloodbath once again, but the back of the site, they managed to survive. It's Izo and Dodo. After the end of all of that dimensional drift, and Dodo just has to delay. Just has to delay, and the peak at the right time, not able to get it to half. And Dodo keeps them in the lead.
Switching sides.
And who's the one that's throwing eco rounds this series? We said it was Shopify, but that's now 2 for Prosperity this map, as they ended up 7 strong on the side of Shopify Rebellion Gold. I mean, wow, heroics and the ability to keep your cool and, you know, pull out the dimensional drift there. I mean, they were lucky that they got the overdrive there off the opening kill from Magic low-key, and that's, again, credit to the Armageddon flushing those players into C-Link, but the crossfires, ironclad there between backside and Dota and Noya, just huge. The 7-5, you know, almost a prerequisite, if you must, here, I should say, for the attack side in Haven. Now the question is, what does the defense look like? Can they keep it strong? Or are we going to see, you know, a tight game from the get-go with the pistol round win?
I mean, this pistol will spell a lot for what they want to get done. And now for SRG, they're triple step to garage. They're ready to face anything by grass and more. I rotated over to see if anything, there it is. Trap wire shots, and we'll see Magic run over Emmanuel with his deep look to come in. Able to get something through the garage. Doesn't actually see anybody there. Finds the pick. Noya. Oh. Again, Maddie gets the better of her.
Your match.
All stuck on Garage completely. Alexis for a trade, but Spike continues to tick away as well as they all move past. Magic not spotted, and they'll double peek him to make sure he gets eradicated from there. But it's 2 on site and 1 all the way on the outside. Eyes look to move up. Both flashes available. Not can't get to use any of them, but these are the Magic and Yuki. As you see them all enter through, no one checks the back. Magic takes 2, and it's Dodona once again against Yuki, and it's Salvo Gaming. The delay is imminent. Dodo walks into them. Oh no. Unfortunate.
And again, when, Prosperity is asked to deliver, they win these crucial pistol rounds, even if far in between. And I was worried, I think, from the get-go because of how long they were taking, right, to clear out Garage, to clear out Grass with, a double-headed disruption play between Manny and between Bantic. But I think they were to clear out CT, keep them many players alive, but it was downhill when Magic's corner wasn't cleared out. And now SRG, nothing out of the ordinary, no stinger force, no nothing, just playing pretty default, actually. Quiet on A, no stacks, no gamble, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. SRG, yeah, like you're saying, just playing very safe. Nothing over by Garage this time. We're gonna choose to allow them to walk through and play deep angles for picks, but currently it is just Manny who's taking advantage of that, taking Garage control, watching that. And they'll actually move forward. So Man's actually been able to move himself pretty deep onto C. But he actually managed to get this. Yeah, no, he gets Sarah. So that's huge on his end. And now with the rest of them, they're cornered. He got his wait, Mel waiting, allows Magic to enter. Not clear, Spike down, Mel. 2 big picks, but the rest team falling. And with superior weaponry, it's 7-7.
Wow, and again, it goes back to Manny. He was able to find 2 with a ghost on that lurk through Garage. And you mentioned it, if those 2 players were alive and Mel, right, then that would have been what, a 2v2, 2v1 for the remaining SRG players? Look, it would have been,
I think so, yeah.
It would have been a 2v1, yeah, no, because Manny would have been shut down then. You have 2 players strong over towards C-Link coming your way. Bygones are bygones, and we are tied. Rifles in hand, though. All you gotta do is deny an eco. Should be easy. Right, SRG? Yeah. Right, SRG?
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? Because like for Prosperity's end, though, I find there's
locating targets.
They've looked better and better every single map. They seem to finding just fantastic reads on what our North SRG attack plans are. And considering how aggressive they play consistently, right? They have continued to shut down all options that SRG has had. Whether it be just playing 2v1s, finding better picks, or just stopping lurks. So now from here, I see Prosperity can continue this train. Remember, they know how close they are. They've had a rough season in Swiss, going 0-4, the same as SRG, in fact. But to make it back in would be huge for them.
Yeah. Both teams something to prove. And I mean, an all-out brawl on A is exactly what you want to do to help decide the best team. Opening kill found. Magic finally shut down. There's no follow-up. They just cut their losses. They look like they're leaving.
I mean, they might as well, right? They know they can't get much passes. They see all the aggression on A, so at 25 seconds to move towards B. But no is there waiting. No cage setup, though. No tripwires or either. She'll just have to fight this completely. Spike there. That's 2. Mel there for the support. They're right on time with Spike now dropped.
10 seconds left.
They'll have to just abandon this within hopes to save their gun. Yuki decides to salvo himself to say that Manny won't be so lucky.
SRG circumvent an eco round in flawless fashion. Nice crash out on the B side as well there. Mentioned the support from Mel. Can't punish off the stun, the special delivery either there from Yuki. And Prosperity always. I feel like we got to study how many times it's within the first like 3 or 4 rounds of the half. I feel like every time at this point. And I mean, it works, right? They're pushing ahead in the series, 1 map away from punching their ticket back to VCL stage 3. And Now the question becomes again, what are they talking about? Probably these late round pivots, like should they leave earlier? What happens, right? What is our plan B? I mean, that's really all I could identify at this point because we are, again, only 3 rounds in.
Prosperity, like, early round call timeouts, like, I just have to wonder what's been discussed there, right? Was because, like, you don't necessarily, like, know. Like, especially because, like, what the team wants to do, or it might just be the coach being like, hey, yo, boys, here's a strat. Here's what you do for the next 5 rounds. Just run this. And so giving them the exact book as to what gets done. But let's see, off the timeout, they look quite good. See what the setup is here from them.
Nice. And I mean, part is, again, we mentioned you're not in the, not in the deep depths just yet. This is the first rifle round. So again, just setting themselves up nice to keep it tied at 8-8. They lose this, that's where things get dicey, but that's not their plan. Fortunately, Shopify Rebellion again, nice utility just to keep the players at bay, to keep Magic tied up and dancing around with this high gear.
Sent early, pushing rest of PRS back. So they'll choose a similar pivot that they have previously, but this time with no garage control. You see it's about to come around. Could find a timing potentially, but it's just a ping. They heard the door. Paranoia, an aftershock to not take it. There's one found by the end. Left in a 2v3. PRS once again comes out on top of all these trades and gunfights.
And I was worried. First cage miss, second lands. You hear Mel coming through. You hear the pings. And I don't know, so they're worried about the aftershock. That's what gives them at least a fighting chance here on SRG's side, 2v3. But again, Yuki's alive, one off Armageddon, Omen can one way. It's not even really planted, actually. Wait, this could be done doing here. If Donut goes huge.
I mean, there is a salvos early on, so it should have enough time to possibly delay this, right? But salvos being gone, they're gonna retap it. Donut has to survive for this entire round and continue to delay it. There's no flashes there. Just clicking forward, right click, it's enough. And Yuki goes all the way around to stop Sarah.
My ultimate is ready.
With just enough time. 8-8, prosperity. They're running it up.
And it's, again, I feel like the big difference is fail-safe upon fail-safe for the side of prosperity there, right? You trust in the salvos, you trust in your players long, but what do you add on top just in case? Yuki, the wrap through garage there to fight off the one-way, right? Whether Manny wins this fight or not, he was going to get the diffuser off and they were going to win off of time. And Manny winning the fight against Donut was just the cherry on top for the confidence for the KDA to be 17-9 right now. The neural theft in tow. They tie us up 8-8. Still money here for SRG, but they lose this. It's going for broke again.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting right now for Manny. He's putting him such a stat line too. We've seen how well he's done, and as we say that, he gets picked every time, man. Anyways, Armageddon though to clear out the back of the site. SRG evacuate away from the pom as we'll see what the retake options are for themselves. They've got Dimensional Drift.
Shopify doesn't look ready either. Dimensional Drift's gonna spot all three, but how fast can you react with a relay bolt in your face? The answer is steadfast.
Yeah, base one being taken, Donut there to come around. Oh, a bit too many options. Tashi killed the second person, so unfortunate. It'll leave them just kind of listless, hoping the round went a different way because they just weren't able to, like, honestly, that just came down to, yo, you shoot them, they died, but they didn't shoot them.
Yeah, I mean, they handled the pressure that was like pushing into CT, right? But then it kind of felt disjointed after the fact, right? Swinging out of the smokes and missed timings, right? Not in coordination with Donut as she's exiting the Dimensional Drift. I mean, she was the perfect bait, drawing all eyes towards her, right? I'm pulling my weapon out, look at me. And they just aren't able to get there, get out in time. So all in all, SRG maybe again with that breakdown of team play a little bit on the retake there. I mean, they had to. Armageddon forced them into it, but again, I don't know. We're failing. We're coming close on these retakes. I mean, Donut sometimes finding first bloods as well. Like, maybe again, we need that similar kind of vein to the change-up we actually saw Prosperity make on their defensive half, which was, you have a pretty active comp, get active. We sent Donut down mid solo B. Maybe send some players deep down A. Noya get creative on C. See what happens.
Both entirely possible. You know what? yo, screw it. Let's just go ahead and gamble stack like C-Set every single time. Retake, might as
A little
well,
heavy
right?
there. I mean, no ults, no weapons. I wouldn't go for the 5 gamble stack. Maybe 3, 4.
Fair.
Especially if they're not going stingers here. They're going with the Bucky strat and the sheriffs. GC sheriff for a reason, but we'll see what it can do.
I mean, they're gonna take her position right for the on garage. That Bucky. And as the rest of them force back on A. Push out through long. And also through sewers, but that Owen is gonna destruct everything she may possibly want to do. Just some small pellets taken, but nothing substantial from either end.
Cam spotted, I think, Mel's shoulder, but doesn't spot the 2 out long or the secondary follow-up of Alexis here. They still have a trap in place here, but Prosperity, I'm gonna say, not biting at first. Now that they've kind of waited long enough, they don't expect it. Oh.
Just shot comes a bit too early. Thought it works on the shoulder, but there's the paranoia as well for Mel to get one, but the rest get cleared out. It's just unfortunate whiff after whiff on the end, because like you were saying, Zoe, like it was, the play was clean. They had the idea, the trap was good, and the paranoia landed on like all 4, but out of the close it out. And Yuki there, set up with the Odin, and Noya spotted and gone.
And if there's anything that screams confidence, like we're closing this out in this map, it is buying up, forcing up an Odin when you don't have to. When it doesn't seem like it's part of the core strategy. But all in all, again, it's small things, right? Dodona, you know, gambles or grapples with the trigger discipline there. If she like takes the first shot and goes into a safe space and then waits for the paranoia for the fault line and then reswings, they have that many more numbers to take the engagement. So that Manny can't get the trays, can't keep it under control for Prosperity. All in all, things to look back on, because right now it's 10-8. Another pivotal rifle round that can keep you in this or become the beginning of the end.
Exactly. They need this round to stay alive and to keep their eco alive as well for their chances to push the sunset. Alexis went away from the Rolling Thunder, and Neural that available from Noya. Sir, not spotted. Plus, she'll still look to probably make her way towards heaven to see if that's taken just yet. And with the smoke just there as a formality, Spike will go down, we'll go in for a full 5v5 retake.
You don't have any ults, you don't have an it factor, so you just gotta play the timing, play the coordination, and Izo's gonna disrupt all of that with a singular aftershock.
Yeah, they've got to drop that after this as well, too. They're waiting on the corner to see what they can get done. There's a fault line as well to stop them coming into a link. As smoke now dissipates, Vantic with 2, Dodona and Sarah moving forward across the site. And Magic can be the X Factor once again. The overdrive. As he zaps every single one of them, shocks them to clarity. And PRS are 2 rounds away from making it back to Challengers.
That round, the slow comms, not being able to spot out the players that were heavily stacked into CT. You saw Sarah try to swing it, but they're not too far gone into short. I mean, the fact that they even got into that site was a miracle because they tucked away safely into CT, but I saw that overdrive early on, and I'm like, this feels like the safety net. If things start to go wrong, the panic button, if you will. And it's what gets Prosperity to their 11th. But this is what I wanted out of SRG. It may be unique ghost strat, but it's still pressure in one part of the map. It's still closing down a lot of space. And Mel will leave Noya deposited outside of C. It's not a judge, but the Bulldog hoping get the job done as well.
I mean, maybe Noya can get a cheeky one if they do push towards C, but doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. Stack they have punished. Dodo Nut, though. Right? When it matters, she does manage to step up. And that's a great first pick to shut down Manny, who's been phenomenal this entire game and series for Prosperity.
And honestly, I don't think Dodo needs to search for any more. Rolling Thunder, you have Armageddon online. Wait for the squad to pull up. But be ready, because Magic likes to push their agenda through, and they are ready to defend their spawn as soon as the Util comes out.
Just the Armageddon to cut off towards the half of sites. They gotta see if they use it to make their way in. The Rolling Thunder and also finally use well There's Yuki to fall alongside Noya, a double ultimate investment, but one they know they need. They cannot let them get to 12, and they don't. It's 9 for SRG, but they've got to create this magic at least 3 more times.
And it is close. If Noya doesn't have that Odin on the flank there, they're doing a good job handling the duo jumping out of heaven. Quick pivot. Close affair, but all in all, they'll get the round secured. Noya swaps the gun out to, we don't need an Odin in our arsenal, we're good to go. But there's this kind of air of Shopify playing a little scared, and Donut finally gets active, finds hers, and isn't too active, right? She doesn't double dip, she waits for the team, and that's how you get a 9th very cleanly. So, all in all, they shut down the 4-round streak from Prosperity and put us 2 rounds apart.
We'll see if we can get anything off of it, though, right? Prosperity, although they've been around down, they haven't necessarily affected them much. Oh! Massive pick, and Mel to come forward as well. You gotta apply this through the spray. Eyes will take the trade. Another Mel just keeps on spraying. That is what I want to see from Shopify. The confidence to continue and to go ahead and pop your chest out and keep getting these picks. They've got to play a lot messier and a lot more confident if they gotta do this. And
you know what's interesting? We actually saw this development on Lotus. Do you remember when they were trailing and suddenly, you know, they had the trap play outside of C, they were consistently pushing Mound? Yeah. It was just too late, right? And then it was at 13-10, Magic does Magic, obviously. And, you know, gets the hat trick to send us out of that. But all in all, like, when they have these confident trap plays, when they're fighting forward, it does look clean. Can you get away with that every round? No, but it's still, it gets you your 10s, puts you 1 round away.
Can you get it done? Yeah, I mean, for Prosperity as well, too. It's like, this is a...
The drone doesn't see
it. Save. No way. Dodo gets out. A nice first picks, 2 in a row for Dodo. Who we've been asking to step up. And finally, again, when it comes down to clutches, they may be able to do it. And now with Manny now gone, once again, they have the eyes of Rolling Thunder. What if from Yuki's Armageddon? So another double out setup possibility. Shot comes out early, concussed towards the back of the site. Alexa looks to be gone. And there it is. But Flash not gonna land here too. Magic taking a bunch of damage. Yeah.
Think about Garage here. You can see that hesitation. Back to spawn, probably back to A. Seems like that's the call Shopify Rebellion Gold had made as well. Act Trio making their way over, and the call is incorrect. They trust, though, in Noya, her ability to communicate off that spy cam that they're headed towards the site, or her ability to anchor it with a site smoke maybe from Mel sent over.
30 seconds left.
We'll also see if Noya can actually find this as well early on. The aftershock, probably not her just yet. Rolling Thunder, C site's wide open though. Noya not caught past this either. The cage to delay them. And with all her utes on completely gone, Cam's still alive, so you gotta wait with 10 seconds to go. Spike finally goes down.
Magic's in a lethal position, right? 10 HP, you gotta play for a corner not getting checked to get your kill. I mean, the dimensional drift being at the crux, I would say, of this retake. I hope, yeah. Oh my gosh, you don't clear out! They're behind you, what? Okay, thank you.
Dodo knows, it's fine. Dodo sees where all the positions are, but the issue is now the fault line there's good enough, and the jump is beautiful. Aizo gets timing right on time. And now to Noya and Sarah to save this game. They're not looking behind, they'll check the corner advantage there. For 1v1, and to get shot, no solvers, this time to delay it. As the ult if they want to, it's just a tap if anything. Sees where they're at, the smoke to dissipate. Noya has to stick this, it's almost down to just half. But knows he has no time. Doesn't get the pick. And Prosperity are 1 round down from getting back into Challengers.
Ooh, and a nail biter it is to decide one of the most important rounds of the series. Again, what looked very disjointed becomes a concrete post-play position, even after such a dynamic opening like this where you've lost your Sentinel. They knocked upon B and then somehow able to find C. And even when their win cons, again, fall short, they believe in clutch players. They are just insane at getting rounds that should be unthinkable. Now you mentioned it, 1 round to go. Shopify Rebellion have a buy intact, but look at this, exactly how the last map went. When they win the round, they turn up the dial.
Fast play. And Sarah now gone. No tail for your post. Things seem to be rough already starting off. Although they're not spotted just yet. But a spike should be planted as the Armageddon. And they gotta escape towards the back of A lane with 3 all there set up and waiting. Not be able to spot the lurk. And a pick is needed to possibly make the way back into this round.
Oh, nice from the shadows. Manny might have it though. Flanking behind. Again, this was the difference. Vantic, Crunch, and all the players are falling. You know where the last is. They jumped out of heaven. And it's on 13-10, 3-1 victory. Prosperity Esports, welcome back to VCL Stage 3.
A hard-fought 4 maps for both of these teams. But, you know, crucial rounds, unfortunate ecos, and confidence, and nothing but from Prosperity looking better than ever to get back into the VCL. We'll see what they can get done as they look to, you know, crawl the way back in. A tough road for both teams, but nonetheless, big congrats to Prosperity, and of course, shout out to SRG for making all this way here as well.